Hello, my fellow weirdos. Yeah, some of the lighthearted Judy is coming back. If you've saw my video last night, I'm uploading one now. It'll be out before this one. The SSI issue, SS issue, Social Security is fixed. My payment is in there. It's a full June one. I've been busy getting all my stuff taken care of. Raspy, you see his little butt? You see his little butt there? He's feeling good enough to be looking out the window. And I've got some squirrel video and more coming. I don't want to move him to get the squirrel videos because he hasn't been this interested in the window in a week and a half. He's feeling so much better. So I'm on the up road with him. So I am feeling better enough that I am very much enjoying the breakup of Trump and Elon. I made a graphic last night. And now I can laugh at it. I was giggly then, but I was still stressed. I knew the money had been fixed. It just wasn't in yet. And I had a big red in yellow and orange, like heat, and big, huge googly eyes in the cell. I'll put it on the community post when I'm done with this. And the eyes are all googly looking down. And it says, Donald John Trump, just friend zoned. Just friend zoned Elon Musk. And now Elon Musk is taking everything he gave Donald back. It's a very messy breakup, but America is the tissues, apparently. I'm glad I have popcorn readily available. Because this weekend might get very entertaining. Especially if this is going to escalate, which I think it will, because he's taking apart his dragon star. He's like, I'm taking back my Starlink. I'm taking back everything I gave you. The Tesla was bought, so it's still sitting there, that red Tesla. Oh, wait. Donald bought a Tesla, not a Tesla. He bought his red Tesla is still sitting there by the gate. Fucking hilarious. I knew, we knew. The breakup, when it came, was gonna be hilarious for us. Trump, oh my God, the MAGA, it is just fucking. But the funniest thing, besides taking all his shit back, Dragonstar, by the way, was used for the star, the station, the space station. So he's taking all his shit back. It does look like a serious breakup. I'm taking my stuff back. And the reason that all of the things aren't unredacted is because of Epstein, is because Trump's in it. Oh. We all knew. Well, liberals and stuff, especially since the new photos from the Ghislaine Maxwell trial were released of him on the plane with Epstein and like 13 and 14-year-old Pewdie Paget. Some of those were released. Things that, yeah. And now Elon's like, that's why he won't release it. That, which obviously means he's involved. We suspected it. We really had a feeling. But you couldn't go by that. Elon's read the shit, and he knows. And he said, have a good day, DGT. When I heard that last night, that's one of the reasons, him and Raspy feeling better, that I got the lickables. Those are the two reasons I actually slept decently last night. You don't see big rings under my eyes as bad as they were. Take a few days, but I literally hooted. I was like, oh, when I heard that last night. I was like, no, he's verified what we've been. Oh my God, guys. Get the fucking popcorn, man. Because we have a weekend-long marathon. Oh my God, I have like 8 packs of popcorn, so I think I have enough. And for me, what's even funnier is they are trying, they have been seriously trying, Republicans, to flip Jersey. You all heard them say it during the campaign, and then when Pennsylvania supposedly was won by Donald, he had a hard on to flip Jersey red. That's why he put Alina Habba where he put her, in Jersey. I mean, she's from, but still. And the fact that Jersey has their elections, their primaries on Tuesday, and that's governor. So we're talking a position that the Republicans would really like to fill. Because Jersey, even though it's blue, true blue, it is stuffed with Republicans, the people that vote for the Republicans last time. We're blue. But we have Republican mayors and such. So it's not as blue as you would think it is if you didn't know Jersey, you know? And the fact that Elon just kind of verified for the world when he said he's in there, it wouldn't have been redacted if it wasn't something damning. So he was on the island. He wasn't just on his plane. He was on the island. When he said he's in there, that's what he meant. Not just that he was with the plane. He was verified. He saw that Donald did go to his island. And the fact that they're trying to, like, strong-arm Jersey to flip it, and we just get that information, and Jersey is having a primary. How rich. Yes, of course, you can't talk about anything in the election place. When you're working there, you can't speak about anything that touches politics or even anything, any person that, you know, even if it was nothing political, if they had anything to do with anything else, you can't talk about that shit. You can't be partisan when you're working there. And you can't discuss anything. You can't, you know, be reading anything. You can't be influencing voters. Even if you're not saying anything, you can't do anything like that. But I'm going to know in the back of my head the entire time. And not only that, but you know how Alina was taking all these legal actions about the congresswoman at Delaney Hall and shit, trying to act like she assaulted ICE and everything? She's being sued by the mayor because what happened should never have happened. And if she's in charge of that shit legally in Jersey, and she's the attorney general, yeah, well, guess what? It's all in her face now, and she's being sued because what was done. So while she's trying to, prosecute for that shit, the congresswoman, the mayor's suing her. And he's legitimate. It's legitimate. They had no right to even withhold him. Everybody else that gets a trespassing charge, which they called him over and then said you're trespassing. He was on public land. They called him over and said, oh, you're trespassing now. You have to go. But I was just off your property, and you called me over. So, yeah. So even though I can't talk about it, the fact that I know she is in serious fucking trouble right now makes me giddy. Also, on April 5th, the protests that they had, one was supposed to be in the Bedminster area. And even when he golfs, and he was president last time, you could still protest. You could still protest. Even if he was there. On the April 5th one, cops got there, were called before the first protest. The organizers even showed up. And they refused. They would not let them go. And that's against the law. Because they are allowed. They said, well, he's the president. He's golfing here today. I don't give a fuck. You're still allowed to be where you're allowed to be. And I couldn't find a ride to a protest. I did go to the 19th. But when I found out about that, after the 19th, I found something nobody had. And when I was making my daily calls to Mikey Sherrill, I told them. He goes, really? We didn't know that. I was like, you're allowed to protest. He goes, no, you are. I said, and the cops made them all leave. They couldn't even start. He goes, really? I said, isn't that blocking our rights? Didn't the cops violate the law? He goes, yeah. I said the first protesters, the organizers, they snapped a couple pictures of, the cops standing there and stuff. He said, really? I said, yeah, I can show you where the pictures are. He goes, yeah, I'd like to see. He goes, would you send those to us? I said, I could send you a JPEG of show you what. He goes, yeah, we'd be interested. Because the cops denied people their right to free speech and an orderly protest. They denied them that before all this other shit was going in high gear. And so last week, in this past week, I had found something. It was like an anti-Trump rally, a counter rally in that space. And only 10 people, but it was like a, save the day, kind of thing. It was an event that they had on Facebook, and I just happened to see, the No Kings rally. So I was like, oh, they're going to do one at Bedminster? And yeah, they are, but that wasn't what the ad was for. The ad was for an anti-No Kings rally, Trumpers. And they are planning on being at the Bedminster area 4.5 hours. They're planning on getting there, because usually the protests are 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Most of the No Kings is 2. And he said, get there by such and such before the organizers get there. Bring bullhorns, bring your trucks, bring the noise, bring decorations, So, just a little out for the areas of Bedminster, New Jersey for the protests on Saturday on the No Kings on the 14th. Make sure, now he he won't be there because he'll probably be in Washington, D.C., admiring how his tanks are tearing up the roads. And we'll have a few more $1 million in repairs afterwards because the weight of the trucks carrying the tanks. So they stopped them at the last time, and now they're trying to plan a there was only 10 responders, but that was several days ago. But I did screenshot it and I did put it in the activist groups, so they know to expect that. So they want to be there early to disarm you when you start showing up, and to stay later to leave the lasting impression is not the No Kings rally or protest. It's fuck you, we chased them off attitude. So if any organizers who are going to be at Bedminster on the 14th, just be aware of that. Maybe you might want to extend it longer or until they leave type of thing. I don't know if you want to acknowledge it or not. And I did put the notice around in the activist thing. Or if you're just planning on attending that, just be aware there will be people there. So be ready, or if you want to go further, be ready with anti-Trump. Yeah. So be ready to be loud and visible. And big signs, colorful, because they're going to try to out you, overshadow you with their yelling and their visual. You're like, America, Trump's your daddy, America. It's crap. However, I don't know how that's going to be affected now that they've broken up and Elon said that basically, go look, you'll find out Donald's a pedophile. That's really basically what he's saying. He is, for reals. Have a good day, Donnie. So, I don't know what's going to happen with all of that in the next week before the protests and stuff. It's going to be amusing. I don't know if the Republicans are going to manage to brush it off as, oh, he's just a jaded ex trying to be, getting back type of, excuse, blow off type of thing, brush it under the rug. Or because right now you have to remember a lot of Trump voters are already not happy with some of the shit they're doing because some of their own have been snatched up and disappeared. So they're already not super effing happy with Donald to begin with. If this gets traction behind it, that Donald is a pedophile, y'all. Not just a rapist, but a pedophile. Who knows what's going to happen? It just depends on the fact that Donald has been lying to Americans, and even the Trump voters, they're finding that out. They may believe Elon, but because they may believe the truth. They may start to say, well, Donald did lie to us about this and he lied about that, and we know he just did. So I don't know. Is the breakup between those two what splits shit wide? We're gonna have to wait and see. But I do know I got my snacks. He's eating the rest. He just got up. Raspy just got up and decided to finish off because I put what was left of the bowl of those lickables. There's some of that Miralax in it for constipation. He looked at me when I said that. Fuck, that cat's smart. You want some more? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give him some more. I'm gonna lace it. Yes. Maybe we'll get things moving, literally. Get your popcorn out because this fucking weekend with Elon and Donald. Ooh, girl, it's gonna be woo. We might have a wild weekend in watching the breakup. Oh, and Putin is not happy with Donald either because of what happened. Finally, this weekend, on a national, international, and personal level, have actually taken the upswing. Woo! Peace out, guys.